If you think modern motorcycles have become too complicated, too heavy, and too obsessed with screens and sensors, then what you're about to hear might seriously excite you. Because in a world chasing horsepower numbers and ride modes, one legendary name is quietly returning to its roots with something raw, mechanical, and unapologetically built for dirt. Today we're talking about the 2026 Honda XR600R machine that doesn't care about luxury, doesn't chase trends, and doesn't try to impress you with technology. It's built for one thing: pure, unstoppable off-road performance. Welcome back to Moto Meter Pro, where we break down motorcycles in a simple, honest, rider-focused way. And this bike right here represents something many riders thought was slowly disappearing: simplicity with strength. The XR600R isn't about comfort touring. It's not about touchscreen dashboards. It's not about electronic suspension or traction control algorithms. It's about torque, durability, mechanical feedback, and the kind of toughness that built legends in the first place. For decades, the XR name has meant one thing in the off-road world: reliability under punishment. Riders trusted XR machines in deserts, mountain trails, rocky climbs, and brutal endurance races because they were simple, air-breathing workhorses that just refused to quit. You could drop them, thrash them, ride them across continents, and they would still fire up and keep going. That reputation wasn't built on marketing. It was built on real-world abuse. The 2026 XR600R carries that same spirit forward. Honda hasn't tried to turn it into something it's not. The mission is clear: protect the core DNA while refining it just enough for modern riders. The result is a motorcycle that feels honest the moment you throw a leg over it. Look at the design and you immediately understand its purpose. Tall suspension, high ground clearance, narrow midsection, minimal bodywork. Everything about it screams function over fashion. This isn't a bike you park outside a CAF to grab attention. This is the kind of machine that looks most natural covered in dust, mud splashed up the fenders, sitting at the edge of a trailhead miles away from pavement. The slim bodywork allows you to move freely, especially when standing on the pegs during technical riding. That freedom of movement is critical when you're navigating rocks, ruts, or tight forest trails. The wide handlebars give you leverage and control, making it easier to muscle the bike through difficult terrain. And despite its size, the stance feels confident and ready, like it's built to charge into the unknown without hesitation. At the heart of the XR600R is what truly defines its personality: a big-bore single-cylinder engine. This isn't a high-revving, top-speed focused motor. It's a torque monster. It's tuned for low-end and mid-range pulling power, exactly what you need when you're climbing steep hills, powering through deep sand, or crawling over uneven rock sections. Twist the throttle and the response feels direct, mechanical, alive. There's no artificial smoothing, no electronic filters between your wrist and the rear wheel. What you ask for is what you get. That connection is something many modern bikes have lost. On the XR600R, it's the entire point. The beauty of a torquey single-cylinder engine is how it simplifies riding in tough conditions. You don't need to constantly shift gears to stay in the power band. The engine pulls strong and steady, allowing you to focus on line choice and balance instead of managing endless gear changes. On loose surfaces where traction can disappear instantly, that predictable torque delivery builds confidence. And when you open it up on a wide dirt track, the engine feels strong and determined. Not frantic, not overly aggressive, just solid, consistent drive that keeps pushing forward. It's the kind of power that feels dependable rather than dramatic, and that's exactly what serious off-road riders appreciate. The gearbox complements that character perfectly. The gear ratios are spaced to handle both slow, technical crawling and faster open terrain. First gear gives you control in tight sections. Higher gears let the bike stretch its legs across desert paths and fire roads. Shifting feels positive and mechanical, matching the bike's rugged personality. Clutch engagement is predictable and smooth, which matters more than people realize. In off-road riding, clutch control is everything. Whether you're modulating power over slippery rocks or balancing traction in sand, having a clutch that communicates clearly makes the difference between confidence and chaos. Underneath it all sits a strong, durable frame designed to take punishment. The XR600R isn't afraid of hard landings or aggressive riding. It's built to absorb it. Even though the engine is large and powerful, once the bike is moving, it feels surprisingly balanced. The weight disappears as momentum builds, and the chassis tracks confidently over uneven surfaces. Stability is one of its strongest traits. On rough terrain, the bike feels planted. It doesn't feel nervous or twitchy. That planted feel encourages you to push a little harder, to explore trails you might hesitate to tackle on a more fragile machine. The suspension setup plays a huge role in that confidence. Long travel forks up front and a capable rear shock are tuned for serious off-road abuse. Rocks, roots, ruts, small jumps. The suspension is designed to absorb impacts and keep the chassis composed. It's firm enough to handle aggressive riding but compliant enough to reduce fatigue over long trail days. When you're riding through unpredictable terrain, suspension isn't about comfort. It's about control. The XR600R delivers that control in a way that feels purposeful and focused. It's built for riders who actually use their bikes the way off-road machines were intended. Braking performance is equally straightforward. Strong, reliable stopping power with clear feedback. In dirt riding, feel matters more than outright power. You need to sense what the tires are doing because traction levels constantly change. The XR's brakes provide that feedback, helping you manage descents and tight corners with confidence. One of the most defining characteristics of this motorcycle is what it doesn't have. No complicated electronics, no ride modes, no traction control maps, no heavy digital dashboards. And for many riders, that's not a limitation, it's a freedom. Fewer electronics mean fewer potential failures in remote environments. When you're miles away from the nearest town, simplicity becomes a strength. Maintenance is straightforward. Repairs are manageable. The bike feels dependable in a way that overcomplicated machines sometimes don't. The ergonomics reinforce its off-road first mindset. The seat is narrow, allowing easy weight shifts. The tall riding position provides excellent visibility on trails. Wide handlebars and well-placed foot pegs make standing natural and comfortable. Yes, the height might feel intimidating for beginners, but experienced riders will appreciate the commanding view and added ground clearance. On pavement, the XR600R can handle short stretches when necessary. But that's not where it shines. Take it onto dirt, sand, gravel, or rough backcountry trails, and it transforms. The engine, chassis, and suspension come together in a way that feels cohesive and purposeful. That's when you understand why the XR name still matters. Durability remains one of its biggest selling points. With proper maintenance, this is a motorcycle built to last for years. The engine architecture is proven. The frame is tough. The overall design avoids unnecessary complexity. It's the kind of machine you can build memories on long rides, tough climbs, dusty adventures without constantly worrying about reliability. So who is the 2026 Honda XR600R really for? It's for trail riders who want something strong and honest. It's for desert explorers chasing open horizons. It's for off-road enthusiasts who value mechanical connection over digital convenience. It's for riders who prefer torque over top speed and durability over luxury. It's not designed for city commuting. It's not built for highway touring comfort. And it doesn't pretend to be something it's not. Instead, it proudly embraces its identity as a serious off-road machine. In a time when motorcycles are becoming heavier, more complex, and more electronically managed, the XR600R feels like a statement. A reminder that sometimes less truly is more. Strength over sophistication, torque over technology, experience over extras. The 2026 Honda XR600R isn't just another model release. It's a return to the roots of off-road riding where skill matters, connection matters, and the machine beneath you feels alive and unfiltered. If you've been waiting for a motorcycle that brings back that raw, mechanical soul while still delivering modern reliability, this might be the one that speaks to you. Because legends aren't built on screens and software. They're built on dirt, sweat, and the sound of a big single-cylinder engine pulling hard toward the horizon.